Manchester United versus Chelsea combined 11. In this video, we'll be giving you the combined 11 of both teams. There's some controversial ones here, but we're trying to do it as fair and unbiased as we can. So let's get straight into it. Onana versus Petrovic now. And then Petrovic is a decent keeper. Obviously, Roberto Sanchez, who's Chelsea's main goalkeeper, has been injured for the majority of the season. And I do think Sanchez is a good keeper, but I think the development of Onana this season and the fact that he's been so important for us this season, for me, I would go with Onana. I think the ability to play out from the back. Yes, he's not been great at all this season, but certainly since AFCON, he's been absolutely amazing. I think he's prevented the most shots in the Premier League. He's got the second most clean sheets. And for me, the performances that he's been putting in have been to the highest standard. I do certainly think there's room for him to improve, but I do think the quality that he's been putting in has been really, really good. And listen, as I said, he got a lot of criticism when he came in, but he's done really, really well. Right back, the options are Gusto or Dillo, and I think they've both been brilliant this season, so this is probably one of the closest ones yet. I think you look at Gusto, he's a very, very young right back who's still developing. He's good on the ball, he's fantastic defensively, he can put in some really, really good cross. You look at Dillo, you didn't expect him to be in the position he is this time last season. He's one of the most informed right backs for me this season, so it is a very, very close one. I would probably give it to Gusto this season. I think Gusto has been really, really good for Chelsea, and in a team that's probably not reaching the standard that you expect of a Chelsea team, I think he's done really, really well to kind of be in the situation that he's in. I think he's really, really good and definitely one of the best right backs in the Premier League this season. Centre backs for me, Varane has to be in there. I don't think Chelsea have been good defensively, neither of Manchester United, to be honest. But based on availability, I would probably go Varane and Badiashile. I've always liked Badiashile. I mean, Manchester United were linked to him a few seasons ago when he was at Monaco. I think he's a decent defender. Yes, it's been difficult for him at Chelsea, but listen, the defence of both teams has not been good enough based on availability as well. I think Varane's been massively underrated this season. The quality that he's shown on a consistent basis has been really, really good. Yes, as I said, he's getting older, but real physical presence for us in the box. Left back, sorry. As the Manchester United have had no left-back available this season. I don't think Chilwell's good enough either, so I probably could put Cucurella in there. I think Cucurella's decent. Obviously, he hasn't quite hit the standards, but this season I think he's been okay for Chelsea. Going into midfield, Casemiro versus Caicedo. I think, as I said, I think it's got to be Casemiro over Caicedo. I think if you look at Caicedo, he came in for a lot of money, 20 million was it? He's looked okay, but I think he's quite rash on the ball. He is prone to an error. And listen, it's difficult. I think Casemiro, as I said, had his mistakes this season, but I think overall his season has been much better than Caicedo. Look at Caicedo, he came in for a lot of money, and listen, he hasn't quite hit the standards that he was at when he was at Brighton. The performances have massively dropped down, and I think the quality that he's very, very inconsistent, and so too is Casemiro, but I think Casemiro just has that cutting edge over him. Now, number 8 is Manu versus Enzo. For me, it's clear, Manu. I think the development maturity of Manu in such a short space of time in the 6-month period has been fantastic. He's looked really, really good on the ball. And listen, Enzo cost 150 million, whereas Manu was free. So listen, Manu is fantastic. He's one of the best young players in the world at the moment. He's so calm and composed. And listen, he's starting to get the praise he deserves. I think he's played in some tough games this season. And listen, he's coming out of them really, really well. The quality, the maturity, and he's scored some really good goals. He's defensively really good. He's technical as well, and he's been a key part of that Manchester United midfield, a player that we have not been wanting to drop this season. And listen, we can't play him every game because he will pick up an injury, but I do certainly think every game he's available, Manchester United fans want him to start. Now that number 10 role, I'm gonna do. Who plays 10 for them? It's Conor Gallagher versus Bruno Fernandes. Now, I'd rather have Bruno in my team based on ability, but I think Bruno's season has been very, very, very underwhelming. I think the performances he's put in have not been to the highest standard that we know of Bruno Fernandes. He's looked very rash. He's been out of the press as well. And he just doesn't look like the normal Bruno Fernandes. Maybe he's trying too hard. He does play every game. He does run around a lot. And so does Gallagher. But I think, actually, no, I'm going with Bruno. I think Gallagher, listen, he runs around a lot. But I just think Bruno has that extra quality over him. Yes, Bruno's very inconsistent on some of the balls that he does play a bit wayward. But I do certainly think Bruno is a better player, and he adds more to the Manchester United team, and especially in the combined 11. Now on the right, this is a tough one. Garnacho versus Palmer. One of the one of the two informed players of the year. Young players as well. Palmer's 20 and I think Garnacho's 19. 20 goals and assists for Palmer this season. Garnacho, I think he's close to those numbers as well. Look at Garnacho first. I think you have to adapt to play on that right wing. We expect him to start on the left, and he's taking that position really, really well. He's looked decent there as well. He's finding his feet. He's getting on the ball. He's creating chances, scoring goals. Yes, they've dried up recently, but for me, it's got to be Cole Palmer over Garnacho. You've got to be unbiased here. I think Cole Palmer, the development from him since coming from Manchester City, it was a big move and a big risk for him to take, and he took it really well. £40 million. He's got 20 goals and assists this season, and he's one of the key players. Without Chelsea, without Cole Palmer, will probably be fighting relegation. In all due respect, like, he's massively helped them, and he's been really, really good. As I said, he's fantastic. He's a very, very good, skillful player and can handle the ball in very, very tight spaces. Now on the left, it's Rashford versus Mudryk. I think played most of the games on the left, or maybe Sterling, but I'll go with Mudryk. Listen, I think Mudryk for £100 million. I think Chelsea got ripped off there. Listen, Mudryk only scored 9 goals in his career before he went to Chelsea, and I do think Rashford's a bit better than Mudryk. They are very, very similar players, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, I do think Rashford's just a little bit better than Mudryk at the minute. I think Rashford, as I said, he's not been good enough this season. It is a pretty poor combined 11, if I'm honest with you, based on form. But I think Rashford just edges it over Mudryk so far this season. Up front, Højlund, Jackson. It's got to be Højlund for me. I think he scored so many goals. He must be on over 12 goals this season, Højlund. Yes, Jackson's scored goals for Chelsea, but he's not good enough. I think if you want someone to link around the play, I think Højlund offers that. He has the ability to create chances, hold up the ball really, really well, and he's a really, really good footballer and a player that Manchester United have needed. So this is my combined 11. Let me quickly go through it one more time. In goal, Onana. Right back, Malo Gusto. Left back, Cucurella, with centre backs Varane and Evans. No, Varane and, Badiashile. Into midfield, you've got Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. So a whole Manchester United midfield three. And up front, you've got Cole Palmer on the right, Højlund up front and Rashford on the left. Let me know if you do agree with me. Most of the players are Manchester United players, but that's the way it is. I think Manchester United have been a bit better than Chelsea this season, and it's not been a great season for us. But thanks for watching.